Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's November 20th, 2016. The puppet show goes on. We have another Donald Trump potential cabinet appointment. This time it's Mad Dog Mattis. And we're going to see what's so funny about Mad Dog Mattis and the ongoing puppet show by the numbers. If you're new to my channel, I am exposing how things are rigged in this world, from rigged presidencies to rigged propaganda news to predetermined professional sports games. There is a network that has a lot of control and influence in this world. They are Freemasonry. They do things by esoteric practices, such as doing things by the numbers according to the laws of numerology, astrology, gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words. By the end of this video, you will have no doubt how very real this system is. Check this out. Here's why we're hearing about Mad Dog Mattis, a very impressive candidate for defense secretary. Anytime the media emphasizes a word, the media is run by mostly Zionist Jews. And if you're not aware that your media is run by Zionist Jews, you need to do some research, because it is. Gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words, is mostly a Jewish practice at this day and age. There's something called Kabbalah, Jewish mysticism. It's all about this. Numerology, coding numbers into words, giving meaning to numbers. Mad Dog in Jewish gematria sums to 96. And let me show you something about this number real quick. The word Freemason equals 96. This is the network. It's Freemasons, it's Zionists, it's Jesuits. They're the network controlling this world and doing it by the numbers. Freemason, 96. The word Freemason in Pythagorean gematria sums to 42. If you don't know the Freemason symbol, their compass and square with the big G in the middle, big G also represented by 42. The number 42, the numbers that divide into it, they sum to 96. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. The numbers that divide into 42 sum to 96. 96. Freemason 42, 96. Freemasons pride themselves on being the keepers of knowledge in this world. Gematria is some of this knowledge that they keep for themselves. Notice knowledge has this same relationship, 42, 96. So anyway, Mad Dog has that coding in Jewish gematria. In simple English gematria, using the alphabetic order, Mad Dog sums to 44, and 44 is the military number. Military is 44 in Pythagorean gematria, just like genocide. Kill is 44 in simple English gematria. NATO was established in history on April 4th, 4-4. Remember Wesley Clark, the former commander of NATO? Wesley Clark equals 44. I'm sure if you go through the history of generals, there's a lot more. I honestly don't know who's been there since Wesley Clark. But anyway, this man is being considered, Mad Dog, for Secretary of Defense. Control of the War Department, the Pentagon. Secretary of Defense equals 193, which is the 44th prime number. And all throughout history, 193 and 44 paired together. From the beginning of the nation's history up to the present. You know, your war leaders of the Revolutionary War, all the way back then, this coding, present. This is an old Freemason tradition. These are old world practices. Gematria goes back to Pythagoras, and likely long before that. They say Pythagoras stole all his knowledge from the civilizations that came before the Greeks. So anyway, Mad Dog 44, military 44, kill 44. Mad Dog has been in the Marines for 44 years, which we're about to read. The name he goes by, his supposed birth name, he's another one of these government Masons that only has a middle initial for a name. And by the way, my middle name is Keith. Zachary K. Hubbard's just what my Google account was. I just rolled with it from the beginning, you know. James N. Mattis. Can't find out what that N stands for, but what I notice about James N. Mattis is it sums to 144, just like if you write out the word 44, it sums to 144. If you write out April 4th as words, it sums to 144. Again, NATO established on 4-4, April 4th. James N. Mattis. And, you know, gematria, it answered a question for me I had my entire life for as long as I could spell and was aware of how the word 40 was spelled up until the day I found gematria. I always wondered why we spelled 40 without a U in it. It never made any sense to me. 4's with a U, the number, so why isn't 40? You know why? Because our entire language is based on this gematria system, and 44 and 144 are two of the very most important numbers in the entire system. 42, where we began, another important number. When you write out 42, it sums to 142. 144, number of time, very special number. Search my name, Zachary K. Hubbard, and just write 144. See all the videos that come up that I've done on this number. All sorts of information. If you take the middle initial out of this man, it's just James Mattis, which has the same gematria as Washington. He's likely going to be in Washington, in the Pentagon. He was born in Washington State, the 42nd state. George Washington, a master 33rd degree Mason. Washington State, the 42nd state named after him. Notice just this little blurb here. He was the 11th commander of United States Central Command from August 11th, 2010 to March 22nd, 2013. 322, I got to give you the military code for that one. Military Industrial Complex, the term coined by Eisenhower. 322 is the number of Freemasonry, Skull and Bones, the Masonic order out of Yale. I've noticed a lot of Masonic lodges in this nation have the 322 address. How nice that he finished up on 322 in the year 2013. 2013 has that independent numerology of 20 plus 13 equals 33, number of Freemason obsession. George Washington, the master 33rd degree Mason. Something up here with the headline. Notice how they emphasize the word very impressive. The way that codes to me is very pro-Zionist. Very impressive equals 205, just like Israel and Jewish gematria. Number they often code next to their Zionist agents. Donald Trump said no one loves Zionist Israel more than him. Of course, he left off the word Zionist, but that's what Israel is. It is the Zionist nation. Zionism is the belief that Israel should exist, and the entire agenda that has made Israel a reality. In the United States of America, they purposefully do not teach us about World War I, because if we knew the truth about World War I, we'd know the real truth about Hitler and Israel. World War I, the American people supported Germany. That was until the government began a massive propaganda campaign after the signing of the Balfour Declaration, which promised the Zionist nation of Israel if the United States joined the war and fought against Germany. That was put out by the Rothschild family, the Zionist banking family, written by Sir Lord Rothschild, written in the United Kingdom. The United States did join the war and fought against Germany. And do you know how they got Americans to fight in the war? In the papers, which are run by this Jewish mafia, Zionist mafia, they wrote that the leader of Germany was the Antichrist. They published it again and again in every major U.S. paper. The U.S., a predominantly Christian nation, went to fight the Antichrist, so they were told. By the way, with the Bible, tells everybody they're born sinners. The word sin equals 42. The original published Bibles were 42-line Bibles. The Christians go by the New Testament, where they believe they're born sinners. New Testament equals 42. 42 generations to Jesus. Just in case you don't believe me, let me just show you. New Testament, 42. Freemason, which we covered, 42. Give you a little bonus. Zionism, 42. The word sin, 42. The original published Bibles, 42-line Bibles. Matthew begins with the 42 generations to Jesus. There's 27 books in the New Testament which begin with Matthew. You know, right now the elected president making this appointment is Donald Trump. Remember, he was announced as the president on the 45th, Donald Trump was announced as the 45th president on the 27-year anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall. Donald Trump, who's running on building a wall. The ticket is Trumpence. Trumpence. You know, Trumpence, like trumpets. In Revelation, there's 7 trumpets that are the warnings. When Donald Trump takes an office, Inauguration Day, January 20th, 2017, he's going to be 70 years, 7 months, and 7 days old. 777. in Jewish gematria, order out of chaos, 777. But anyway, my point is, everything that's being done is riddles by the number. Donald Trump's entire presidency is a joke, a mocking of us, running on a wall, being announced on the 27-year anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall. Trump Pence, the warnings from the final book that concludes the Bible, the 27th book of the New Testament. Show you what Holy Bible equals in gematria. 45. Show you what his vice president equals. Mike Pence, who just went to the Hamilton play by the numbers for another coded tribute. At the end, he got lectured by the actor playing Aaron Burr, who was vice president to Thomas Jefferson and assassinated Hamilton in a duel. Think about it. Vice president killed Hamilton in a duel. Mike Pence, vice president at Hamilton, gets lectured by Aaron Burr, who killed Hamilton in history. We're being mocked. They know what the U.S. is. A bunch of people pumped up on alcohol, trash, toxic programming, have no clue about history, don't even know who their own congressman is, don't know shit about shit, and just mocking them every day with news TV programming that just entertains them, stimulates them, while they don't realize what's really being presented to them. Nation's history, where you go to school and they teach you a president who was blamed for a war died in a theater by an actor. They say he died in Act 3, Scene 2, when theater equals 32, just like America. Just like the middle degree of Scottish Rite Freemasonry. 31, 32, 33. Add those numbers together, they sum to 96 like Freemason. They said that this meeting went on yesterday in Bedminster, New Jersey. This happened, yesterday. November 19th, 2016, these men met in Bedminster, New Jersey. That was a date with 46 numerology. Bedminster in gematria sums to 46. And by the way, yesterday, November 19th, it was the day that leaves 42 days left in the year. Mr. Mad Dog, the Freemason. But you see this? They meet in a place with 46 gematria on a date with 46 numerology. By the way, the word chaos equals 46. The Freemasons believe in order out of chaos. We have a nation, a history of staging chaos to get into war. From, Bay of Pigs to the Gulf of Tonkin to Pearl Harbor to September 11th to so many other things. The Mexican-American War. All throughout history, the same tactics. Creating an event, chaotic scene to start an agenda, a war, etc. And it's all been done by the numbers. Here we are exposing it in real time as it happens. They mentioned right here he was in the Marine Corps for 44 years. And they tell us the word is corps, but look at the word. If you didn't know English and you were learning to pronounce, you'd think the word is corpse. Looks almost like how we spell corpse. And Marines are typically the first to die in war because they're the first sent in to the most deadly situations. Marine, gematria of 33, 33 often a number of sacrifice. Doesn't it make so much sense? Mad Dog, 44, military, 44, 44 years in the Marines. Who knows what Mad Dog's real history is? One of my best commenters on my blog appreciated this post. His name's Mad Dog, too. There's some good Mad Dogs out there. So, I think we covered it all. More propaganda by the numbers, another appointment by the numbers. November 19th, I guess I can just show you that real quick. Day that leaves 49 days left in the year. Or not 49, 42, excuse me. November 19th, there are 42 days left in the year. See that? Zoom it in here for you. Is that big enough? How big can I make this? 42. The divisors of 42 sum to 96 like Mad Dog. Isn't it amazing? And let's not forget that Donald Trump, he'll be the 45th president, but the 44th man to be president. That count's been off because Grover Cleveland was number 22 and number 24. So the 25th president was the 24th person all the way up to the present. And with regards to Israel, there were 44 kings of Israel. Donald Trump, will he be the last male president? Will he be the last president before this nation falls apart into smaller nations? Who knows? Hard to say where these people are taking us. I think before anything like that happens, it's still years away. But we got to wake up. These people are taking us to a cliff. The people who govern over us, they do not represent us. They steer us for the sake of an agenda that is not ours. You know, Donald Trump deceived a lot of people. People thought he was an outsider. He comes in right away, appoints a bunch of insiders, a bunch of longtime Washingtonians. Criticizes Hillary Clinton because he says she had poor judgment to not go against the Iraq war. Then who does he get for his attorney general? Gets one of the hardest hardliners for the Iraq war. Wake up, people. Until next